John Lennon was one of the most influential musicians of the 20th century. Born in Liverpool, England in 1940, his early life was shaped by separation and loss. His father, Alfred Lennon, was a merchant seaman who was often absent. His mother, Julia Lennon, struggled to raise him alone, and John was mostly brought up by his Aunt Mimi. Although Julia did not raise him, she introduced him to music and encouraged his creativity. In 1958, when John was 17, Julia was killed by a drunk driver, a loss that deeply affected him for the rest of his life. Soon after, Lennon formed the Quarrymen, which would evolve into the Beatles. Alongside Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr, he helped redefine popular music and global culture. After the Beatles disbanded in 1970, Lennon's solo work became more personal and reflective. Songs like Imagine made him a symbol of peace around the world. Lennon was also a father. He had a son, Julian, from his first marriage, and later welcomed Sean in 1975. After Sean's birth, Lennon stepped away from music for 5 years to focus on family life. By 1980, Lennon had returned to music with renewed optimism, releasing Double Fantasy with Yoko Ono. On December 8, 1980, Lennon spent the day at the Dakota, his New York apartment building. That afternoon, he signed autographs for fans, including Mark David Chapman. That evening, at around 10:50 p.m., Lennon and Ono returned from a recording session. As Lennon walked toward the entrance, Chapman fired 5 shots, 4 of which struck Lennon in the back and shoulder. Police rushed him to Roosevelt Hospital, where he was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. John Lennon was 40 years old. Chapman was arrested at the scene and later pleaded guilty to second-degree murder, receiving a sentence of 20 years to life. He remains incarcerated after multiple parole denials. The world responded in shock and silence. Thousands gathered outside the Dakota. On December 14, 1980, around 225,000 people assembled in Central Park for a silent vigil. In Liverpool, Lennon's home city, crowds gathered at St. George's Hall and other landmarks, holding candlelight vigils to mourn one of the city's most influential sons. John Lennon left behind his family, his music, and a legacy rooted in honesty, creativity, and a lasting call for peace. These were the final moments of John Lennon.